In this video, we're going to look at finding the equation of a line from a graph. Remember, it doesn't matter what information we have. There are some very simple steps to follow to write the equation of a line anytime. Just the amount of working that changes. So step one is always write the rule. So we know by now the general rule of a straight line is y equals mx plus c. So step two, every time, is identify m and c. So you know when we have our final equation, we've always got values in for m and c. So in this case, m equals, c equals. So remember, c is your y-intercept, m is your gradient or your rise over run. So I always start with my c value. So in this case, it's quite easy to observe my c value is equal to 1. M, you choose any 2 points on your line. You can start down here and go to there. You can start here, go to here. Doesn't matter. The trick I like to do is I make sure that I'm on an exact point. So I'm in the corner of my squares. So that way I've got a specific value. So in this case, I'm going to use these 2 points. I'm going to look at my rise. So I rise up 2. And my run, I run across 3. So I've risen up 2, I've run across 3. So my gradient becomes 2 over 3. Step 3 is sub in m and c to write equation. So now I end up with y equals 2 over 3x plus 1. And it's that simple. I like to put a box around it or highlight it so I know that's my final equation, especially because when you start doing a few harder questions, you'll have to actually use that equation to find further information. Keep watching if you would like. I'm going to do another 2 examples. Okay, let's look at this line now. Remember, our steps don't change. Step 1, we write our general rule, y equals mx plus c. Step 2, let's identify the gradient and the y-intercept. Again, I always start with the y-intercept. It's a lot easier to identify. So in this case, the y-intercept is 3. My gradient, this time you should automatically look at your line, you know that's a negative. So you know that your m value will be negative. So again, choose 2 points. Any 2 points will do. I'm going to choose the y-intercept and this one. So this time my rise, I'm going down 2, which is why it's negative, and across 1. So I've got down 2, I've got a run of negative 2, rise of negative 2 and a run of 1. So m is equal to negative 2. Finally, step 3, sub in m and c to write the equation. Y equals negative 2x plus 3. Okay, keep watching if you would like to see one more example when given the graph. Final one, you should be really good at the steps by now. Step 1, write the rule, y equals mx plus c. I always start with my y-intercept. In this case, the y-intercept goes through the origin, so c is equal to 0. M, once again, I look at my rise over run. I'm going to use these 2 points this time. So I've run across 2 and I've risen up 5. So I've got 5 over 2. Now you can leave it as a fraction if you want. Some people like to put a decimal, so you can write m equals 2.5 also. So now step 3, sub m and c to write the equation. Y equals 5 on 2x plus 0. Now plus 0 means there's nothing there, so you can actually just leave it as y equals 5 on 2x if you like. Keep watching for other methods of finding the equation of the line, particularly when given coordinates.